Hi everyone and welcome back as I continue my review of The Prisoner in the preferred order that I'm watching the episodes. So let's get started. Free for all. Number 2 visits number 6 and they play a little prank on number 6. It's only a little prank. And basically the hub of the story is it's election time in the village. Yes. And number 2 basically tells number 6, we need another candidate and you are the most suitable person to be that candidate. Rebellious. And you're new here. And so he persuades number 6 because number 6 asks the question, if he won, what happens? And they basically lay down the cheese, you could say. You will become the next number 2. Whoa. So, the elections begin. And yeah, they're playing number 6 like a fiddle because no sooner he announces he's standing in the election, the billboard with his face on it, vote number 6, suddenly appear out of nowhere. The press jump all over him, asking him questions, which he says no comment to, and they make up the answers. And then suddenly they disappear, and he gets hold of the Tally-Ho, the village newspaper. He's already in it. So everything is being orchestrated. Anyway, number 2 has invited number 6 to an outgoing council meeting at the town hall. And he attends the town hall meeting. And number 6 basically lays into the people standing around him, saying, is this what they use to break you? Holding up the newspaper. And he gets a bit out of control for number 2. And he basically says, you're going to have to take the test. And the podium number 6 is on. It spins around and it goes down below ground. Now, this is our first time, in the terms of my order of watching them, that we now entered an area of the village which is off limits. Anyway, he's in like a red corridor. Obviously, he's giddy, being twirled down below. And he walks along the corridor, falls flat on his face as the doors open. And he's greeted by another representative of the village. He will be conducting the truth test on number 6. And that's exactly what happens. Number 6 is asked a load of questions. Somehow they got the ability to probe into his mind, because number 6 is not actually answering the questions. It's like his reactions, his feelings, whatever it is. Somehow they know what they're doing. He gets asked, you're going to organise an escape attempt. Number 6 is obviously by his mind. No, it appears on the background. He's lying. Anyway, this goes on for a while. Then eventually he's rendered unconscious and he then wakes up. Now, here's the funny bit. When he wakes up, it's like he's in full election mode. He's going around with a big smile. He's shaking hands with people. And everything is going well. He's under the watchful eye of number 58, who has been assigned to him by number 2. Everything is going swimmingly, and then it's like suddenly he snaps out of it. And he does one of his mad dash attempts to escape, this time on the speedboat. But he's been pursued by number 2 in the helicopter. Everything is just laid out in the terms of like from A to B to C to D to E to F. And number 6 is just going along with it. So he has a bit of a punch up with the crew of the boat number 6, and of course the inevitable happens. once number 6 gets control of the boat, well, he thinks he's got control of it, you know what happens. Yes, Rover is summoned. Yes, so number 6 is locked out the boat. He can't control it anymore. He jumps overboard and is promptly rendered unconscious by Rover and then taken to the hospital. From there, he's returned home, and yeah, they are getting to work on number 6 as he's lying in bed asleep. The lamp comes down, sort of pulsating light, so it's like a form of hypnotism, I suppose, to keep number 6 under control and keep number 6 in the election. So that's exactly what happens. He's back into election mode again. He's giving out his big speeches. He turns on number 2. He says, less work, more play, things like that. And everything's going swimmingly for number 6. There's a funny scene in this. He's in a bar called the Cat and Mouse, I believe, and he's trying to make out he's drunk. The alcohol drinks in there don't contain alcohol, and he's making out he's drunk. Anyway, he staggers out laughing and whatnot. Number 58 takes him to a secret place where he meets number 2. Number 2 says this is the therapy zone, and here you can drink real alcohol with real alcohol inside your drink. And they're chatting away and so on, and eventually he's rendered unconscious again. And now we come to the grand final, and it's voting day, and guess who's won? Yes, number 6 has won. He has been voted in as the new number 2. So the outgoing number 2 takes the new number 2 up to the Green Dome, and he says, "It's all yours." And number 2 enters, and he's pressing buttons, and he's on the phone and whatnot, and he thinks he's won. He thinks he's in charge. He could do. This is it. Time for the big bust out. But no. Because number 58 directs him to the screen, and it's like they're releasing him from the hypnotic spell. Because he does start to come round. He does. Not only that, but number 58 starts slapping him right in the face on a number of times, and sort of snaps him out. So he's looking around and whatnot. He's like, this is it. We're going to grab the chance. We're going to get out of here. And he's getting onto the phones. He's saying, free for all. I will, shut down all the security and whatnot. And of course, nothing's working for him. Nothing at all. And this will lead us to this very strange scene where he departs number 2's control room and enters, which has been described as the Rover Cave. Really weird. And what happens basically in there, they give number 6 a right old pummeling. Yeah, he gets 6 bells knocked out of him, and he's then dragged back into the number 2 office, and look who is number 2. Yes, number 58 is the next number 2. So our number 2 who won the election is back to being number 6. Yep. And she basically stands there saying, look, we have ways and means to break you, and we will break you if you force us to break you. Are you ready to talk? Well, obviously, he's number 6 in the right state now, because he's been given a good pummeling, and he doesn't answer it, and he's basically just taken home. So yeah, they have demonstrated once again that they have the power and control, and they played number 6 like a fiddle all the way. Right then, let's move on to my final thoughts. Right, here we go with my final thoughts on Free for All. Now, the first thing comes to my mind. If number 6 had been in the village for, let's say, a good period of 8 months upwards, would number 6 gone along with this farcical election? And I don't think he would have. So this demonstrates that number 6 has been in the village, let's say, from 1 month to 3 months, somewhere in that time frame. So it's still early days for him. And what really happens basically is they are going to play number 6 like a fiddle. They put the cheese under his nose. You stand in the election. You win the election. You are the new number 2. How could he resist at that stage? Obviously, as I say, if he'd been in the village for, for a good 8 months or more, I think number 6 would not have fallen for this. Definitely. And he is basically controlled all the way through the election. They use, from what I can make out, hypnosis, drugs of some sort, and other weird and bizarre methods to make sure that he goes through this election. Now, obviously, number 6 has got a strong character because he does snap out of it. At one point, he makes a mad dash towards the shoreline and commandeers a speedboat to try and escape. But of course, everything's been played out, and the result is no. I think he should have realised even now, with this escape attempt, he wasn't going to get anywhere because he tried it with the helicopter and that failed. And that's exactly what happens with the speedboat. And then, he's back under their control. He's in the election. He's doing his bit. And they really did play number 6 like a fiddle. There's no doubt about it. He was manipulated all the way. They were demonstrating to him what they were capable of doing without actually damaging him too much, because they couldn't do that because number 2's conversation on the red phone, now we presume this is number 1 he's speaking to, and he's saying to number 1, we won't damage the tissues, basically saying we're not going to damage him too much, obviously, because they still think he may have a future with them. And yeah, so it's just incredible. It really is. And by the end, well, there we go. It all comes out that he was manipulated. It was a textbook from A to B to C to D for them. Yep. And on that sad note for number 6, I'll see you on the next one. You decide what I'll be reviewing. Be seeing you.